Hey everybody, welcome back. It's review time. We are straight out of the theater seeing Kubo and the Two Strings, and we shot our non-spoilers video, but now we're here to talk all these spoilers. So this is going to be our spoiler video, so here's your warning. Spoilers, 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 spoilers. We're going to talk whatever we want to talk about, spoil whatever we want to spoil. So if you don't want spoilers, there is a link to the non-spoiler review below, or something's clicking up right about now you can click on, and hopefully you'll come on back and check this one out when you're ready. But yeah, so there you go. You've been warned, okay? You gone? You gone? Good. All right, so when the chicken farts out the egg... okay, honestly, that really did happen, but it's actually really goddamn funny. And, you know, that was some of the fun was with the paper craft, honestly. Mm-hmm. That, to me, was a big part of what I did like about this movie.
Yeah.
And just to recap real quick, spoiler stuff. She really enjoyed it. I just thought it was, I had some problems with it. We both think it's beautiful. But we'll get more into all that stuff as we go along. Uh-huh. But yeah, papercraft stuff was really nice. Mm-hmm. But yeah, okay, you know what? I don't even know where to go with this, but I know she's anxious to get into, something I said in the no spoiler video, which is why they call it Kubo and the Two Strings, and I wasn't sure until I read in the credits. In the credits, just to set this up, it did say it was dedicated by the director. It was dedicated to his parents that were his two strings, which in the movie, you know. Again, this is the spoiler video. You ready? I'm telling you what happens at the end. Matthew McConaughey is supposed to be his father, and the monkey Charlize Theron is supposed to be his mother. So they, you know, he got a strand of his mom's hair, and he had the bowstring from Matthew McConaughey, and those were like the two strings. But then he also picks some of his own hair and puts that on as a three string. And then there's moments, like there's never a moment, I don't know, maybe this is just stupid confusion, but there's never a moment where there's only two strings on that guitar and it's used. There's either one string, no strings, or three strings.
Title, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Fair enough. I will accept that. Stay in the frame though. But I will accept that. But yeah, I mean, again, I don't know. I think for me, a lot of it was by that point, by the time we got to all that stuff in the movie, I was just kind of aggravated with parts of the movie. So I'd given up on certain things. There's a lot of times, I'll try to get into specifics, but let me just generally say, there's a lot of times when like some really cool action-y sequence is about to happen, and like, okay, like the very first one, when the sisters find Kubo in the beginning, because he stays out past dark, and then the mom comes to protect him, and she makes Kubo fly away, and then it's just like, the sisters and the mom runs at each other, and big white flash, and now we're way away, we don't get to see this, what could have been this incredible fight, any of it at all. Now, granted, I can understand that particular use making sense because Kubo doesn't see it. We want to disorient him. We want to disorient the audience. Mm-hmm. The problem is this happens multiple times throughout the rest of the movie where like they're going to go into battle or something and there's this big flash and we jump to later and we don't get to see the really cool shit. And that annoys me. There's like 2 or 3 times more than that first one that happened.
I really did not notice
it. Yeah, it didn't bother her, but it bothered me. Like, there was a point in the movie where I'm like, and there you go. I knew we weren't going to get to see that. Because by that point, I was like trained. Like, come on, guys. But there is some cool action. Fighting the giant skeleton. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Also worth, there should be some behind the scenes type things on YouTube where they show you how they do that. And you also see part of it in the end credits. Mm-hmm. Which was kind of cool, although weird. Yeah, well, because this is all stop motion animation. Well, you know, you're dealing with
touches of CG and stuff.
You know, yeah, but you're dealing with figures that are about, you know, yay big. To make a monster big enough to hold one in its hand, well, they had to make one that was about 8 feet tall. Yeah, from about the waist up.
Well, to scale, basically, of the puppets. I think was cool.
That was nifty, and then watching the skeleton try to eat the animator.
Yeah, and you know, I love behind the scenes stuff, so it was great to see that. I feel like it's a little weird to put that in the end credits. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, like, because there's all this great, like, artwork and stuff going on, and then it transitions into kind of this, like, time lapse of them working on the giant skeleton behind the scenes with the green screen and everything. Yeah. And I mean, it's cool as a fan of that stuff, but at the same time, I'm like, that feels awkward to like put that in the middle of the credits for the movie. I don't know, it just felt a little weird to me, but that's a nitpick. I'm not really down on the movie for that at all.
No, you wanna know what's awkward?
Having to watch it with me? No, what?
It was Kubo's face when he's like, I'm going to have to adopt my grandfather who just tried to kill me and killed my parents.
Yeah, all that stuff is kind of weird too. Yeah.
The awkward.
Yeah, and the whole thing about, at the end, he's like, if there's any way you could bring my parents back, he's talking to the paper lantern things, and they don't. And you see him there with his Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader ghosts, basically, of his parents. And he just says, the end. And the movie ends like, okay. But I had a feeling, and actually there's more closure to that ending than I expected. But I had a feeling from something earlier that, like, it was going to be one of these things where it, like, doesn't even close the movie. It's just like, nope, that's the end of the story. Because earlier they were setting up that he never told the end of the story.
Right.
So I started getting worried that, like, oh, if they do that with the movie, that's not going to be okay. But they do wrap everything up. So, it did feel a little abrupt in the ending, but they do wrap everything up. All the voice performances, though, were top-notch.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is really funny as the Beetle, who's supposed to be Hanzo's, soldier or whatever, but you kind of see it coming like maybe 5-10 minutes ahead of time that he's actually going to be the dad. About the time they reveal that Charlize Theron was the mom, that's about the time I started realizing, oh, well, then he's going to be the dad.
Well, actually, it was a combination of that and how the two were acting towards each other beforehand.
Yeah, because they started getting a little bit flirty, although she was like trying to push away his flirtations, but yeah, so you kind of did see that coming. And the other thing I really saw coming...
This is getting weird.
Yeah. Yeah, the other thing, though, that I really saw coming was the trap. Yeah. That Kubo has the dream. And right away, like, I know, like, oh, that's his grandfather he's dreaming about. He's a blind man and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And then, he's like,
moon crest on his armor.
Right, which looks like the Death Star, by the way. I kept thinking, why has he got the Death Star emblem on his armor? But, and then like... Right? Oh, shit, points to you. I didn't even think about that pun. But yeah, so that was really obvious. And then he wakes up and he's like, oh, I had a dream about where it is. We're gonna go over here. And you see him put the paper Hanzo away. I'm like, because paper Hanzo would be like, no, it's the other way that you're going. So they all ignore him, and I'm a little bothered no one questioned him about, well, can you tell us a little more about your dream? Like, if perhaps he had explained the blind man and then the monkey mom would be like, what did he look like? I'd be like, oh, that's your grandfather. Don't pay attention to that dream. It's just one of those.
And then the story gets cut short.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well,
I'm sorry. It's just one of those things. It's a common pitfall. I think animation in particular is that people do really, really stupid things because otherwise the story would be a lot shorter.
And I think you're right. I think there's this still this thing in animation where they still feel like they can get away with that more than live action. Like they haven't caught up to that audience wanting not to have that kind of stuff happen. But it happens. So, but what can I do? It looked beautiful. I'm just gonna keep saying that. It looked beautiful. It was a beautiful looking movie.
The moon dragon was awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that was pretty cool. Although I feel like I'm not that specific design, but I feel like I've seen that before. Well, or something very similar many times.
It's sort of a mutated shark design.
I get that a little bit, but I was also thinking it's like the giant ships in the end of the first Avengers that come through. And then I'm also thinking it's like something I saw in one of the Transformers movies. It's like kind of this design I've seen a bunch of times already. But at least he was neon and it looked beautiful. Okay, drinking game. Every time I say... No, don't. I don't want you to die. I'm going to say it a lot. But yeah, and then Kubo and the whole thing with the eye is kind of interesting. That the grandfather wanted to steal both his eyes so that he couldn't look into the souls of humans and see the beauty.
Meanwhile, Kubo, I was just waiting for lines like, I'm not going to see much of anything if you take my eyes.
Right? Yeah.
We're bumping into everything.
And then what the hell was the point of the armor and the sword? It served no purpose other than a MacGuffin for getting them to go places. Because by the time the battle rolls around, it doesn't work. He gets rid of the sword. He takes off the armor.
Well, he was making progress with the sword.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was inflicting damage.
But it was it was repairing itself. Like there was no lasting damage.
Yeah, there was.
So, you saw him slide under there and he cut a big gap.
The scar over his eye from the eye he took out.
See, I didn't pick up on that, but
yes.
But again, I thought I saw that in his human form at the end.
Yeah, but he took.
I didn't see it in the
eyes.
monster. Was there a scar?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw him take the.
It wasn't a scar, but it was a fresh wound at that point.
And we did see the eye wounded because I did not catch it. I believe you. I believe you. I didn't catch it.
I'm just surprised he wasn't missing a hand because one of his okay.
Yeah. Well, still, fair enough.
Maybe a finger.
But seriously though, that didn't have that much of an effect. I mean, if all he needed to do was let his magic grow.
Kubo is a 10-year-old boy.
Right, but if all he needed to do was, like, let his magic grow and just, you know, play his... Well, I guess he had to go on the journey to get the strings from his parents and all that stuff. I don't know. It's just, that's one of those things. It's like, really, though? I mean, he takes it off and all. It's like, I just wish that would have played at least one more bigger moment than it did. You know,
the sword was really handy.
Yeah, but more for other people than it was for him. You know, because it did stop one of the sisters and everything. Yeah. So that was kind of cool. And the fights with the sisters on the boat and everything, that was really... Or the sister on the boat was really nice. Yeah. And then, man, I'd be pissed, too, if I was that other sister and they broke my weed pipe. Yeah, I don't know what that was about. I mean, obviously, that was just weird. It says, like, this big pipe and she's putting out all these smoke plumes from it and stuff, and that's attacking people and stuff. But I just thought that was just, you know, that just ran through my mind. I was like, waiting for the Matthew McConaughey Beetle to come over and be like, hey, man, can I get a toke on that? I did like his character, though. I think the Beetle was my favorite character, even though he's kind of over-the-top stupid.
Well, no, he's not... what's his face in Ghostbusters? Yeah,
he's not Kevin. He's not too stupid to live. But you know, because that's part of his curse was that he can't remember things for so long. But I was charmed by him, his discovery that he has eyelids, his discovery that he has wings and he can fly, his inability to control how he flies. All that stuff was pretty cool. Also, too, I did like that when the Beetle and Monkey were arguing about Kubo's abilities, and then he's just like, oh, and he looks over the shoulder, and Kubo has built this giant boat out of magic and leaves and stuff. So that was pretty cool. And the underwater eye monsters.
There's a lot of, did you know you could do that? No.
Right, yeah. Yeah, and then the underwater eye monsters were pretty cool, and they wanted to feed him to a sarlacc pit and everything, so that was kind of fun. But it looks beautiful. Sorry, I hadn't said it in a while.
I feel like he's saying that just to appease me.
No. I mean, in a way, I'm having fun with the joke of just going back to. But it looks beautiful because it really does. I'm not knocking that. It really is a gorgeous looking film. But yeah, I wanted to talk to. We mentioned in the non-spoilers, but I am so disappointed in the use of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps." It's one of the biggest selling points for me in the trailer is that beautiful, like, orchestral swelling version of that song. And it starts from just, like, being played on, like, that particular guitar that I can't think of what it's called.
Samson?
I don't know. Maybe. I know, like, Stratocasters, you know, but you know, it starts from that, like, just simplistic thing and builds into this giant swelling orchestral thing that's just so moving. And then the credits start rolling, and I figured they wouldn't play it in the movie. That's understandable. But I figured they'd play it in the credits, and the credits start rolling, and it starts to be While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I'm like, yes! And then it's like this weird pop version by Regina Spektor, and like...
I liked it.
Well, I might like it, but because I thought I was going to get this other thing that's like so much better, I was disappointed.
To me, it sounded like the music from the trailers with lyrics added.
But no, it may have sounded that way too, but it was not that way. And the lyrics bothered me because like the way it was sung was very poppy and it was very mixed loud for me. I know it's super nitpicky, but it did not ever have that big emotional orchestral swell happen in that music. It just didn't, and it wouldn't have, and understandably, it wouldn't have necessarily been appropriate in the end credits. But I don't know. I was just disappointed because that was a big. That's why I loved the trailer so much. Really, was that use of music.
Have you looked for the soundtrack yet?
No.
Okay.
But we will. There's like one song on it, and the rest is score. But yeah, you know, I mean, overall, pretty cool. It looked beautiful. See if I can get 3 more in before we finish. But yeah. Anything else though? I don't know if there's really. I mean, we mostly covered it. There's not a lot to spoil. You can, aside from a few things that we mentioned here, you can pick most of it out of the trailers. I think.
Yeah.
It's really more a journey film than a plot film, which makes sense. Like she said, I think in this video, it may have been the other one, the hero's journey.
Yeah.
Which is what it is. It's your basic, simple hero's journey, which is always fun. And maybe I was just expecting more. I wanted like more twists and turns. I wanted more like kind of moments, and I just didn't get it. Because even the ones that were supposed to happen, I was like, there you go. Yeah. Saw it coming.
Again, I have a feeling they intended this to be skewed a little more towards kids.
Yeah.
So.
And that may be its true problem, is that it didn't find that tonal balance of what generation it was aiming at, if anything. Coupled with my expectations of wanting something much more epic.
So I'm afraid they were. I think they were already afraid they were going to lose the kids with the. Wait. So his mom's the monkey and his cat.
Maybe they should have been more worried about. Through the first half of this movie, I almost wanted. I thought if the rest of the movie continues like this, which it didn't, it picked up in action and stuff. But I was like, this is like watching a Lord of the Rings where they cut out all the fight scenes. I mean, that's kind of what the first half of the movie is like.
I don't know. I loved it.
Yeah, well, I mean, again,
I was thoroughly engrossed.
Again, I'm blaming it mostly on my expectations, because maybe I was just expecting something more. But at least it looked beautiful.
And here's the other thing. This is the other possibility. A lot of Japanese movies tend to be a little slower paced. And I know this was not technically a Japanese movie.
No, this was made in Oregon.
But
which I thought was interesting.
But if they were trying to kind of emulate that story style.
Yeah, but again, you're selling it to American audiences.
I know.
So I mean, I'm just saying.
It's a
just
theory.
Saying.
It's a theory.
I did some of the supporting characters, though. I did love that old lady in the beginning.
I loved her too, although watching her face move was kind of weird sometimes.
Okay, good. It wasn't just me. I did notice. It looks beautiful. Wanted to go. But there was some moments with her mouth sync that looked, I don't know, it looked kind of weird.
Well, I think her face was so overexpressive.
I could see that.
I think she may have had the most expressive face in the entire movie.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And that's partly because, she's older, she's got more wrinkles and contours and everything else.
Yeah.
But and them trying to animate all of that, it just got a little wonky looking.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with all that.
But she's still funny as hell.
Yeah, and it still looked beautiful. We did it! We did it! Okay. All right, enough of that. If I wasn't terribly lazy, I'd animate like streamers and balloons. But, I'm going to be editing this at like 1 o'clock in the morning, so nope. But anyways, I think that pretty much covers it. I don't know that there's really anything else that I feel the need to rant about.
I know. Well, do we actually need to end this review?
Do we need to what?
End the review.
Yeah.
Okay, joke went over your head.
Yeah, joke totally went over my head.
The ongoing thing about Kubo never finished his stories.
Oh, right. The end. No, it'd be fun. I'm almost tempted to like cut to black right there just for a second. Nope, just kidding. But yeah, so there you go. Yeah, it happens on occasion. But trust me, I have plenty of jokes that go over her head too. It's just, mine are just because I'm making references to things she's never seen. I don't know why I still think horror movie references that she will get, but I should know better by now. Okay, well anyways, enough about that shit. I gotta get my lady home, it's getting late. She's been, I bet you've been up a long time too. It was a school day.
Let's see, 18 hours?
Yeah, okay. So we're going to wrap this up. You know the drill. We've seen it. This is the spoiler video, so you can talk spoilers all you want down in the comments. Let's hear it. What did you think? Do you agree with us? Do you agree more with her or me? I'm not like trying to make it a competition. I'm just saying, she should win. If it was a competition, I'm like, let her win. Let the Wookiee win. Still, points for trying. It's still adorable. But yeah, comment away. What was your favorite part of the movie? That kind of stuff. Let's just hear it. That's what we do. You can hit that thumbs up button. Give me that thumbs up of encouragement. It's always nice to be encouraged. Subscribe if you're new here. We do all kinds of fun, nerdy, geeky stuff every single day on the EricButts channel. And of course, share with your friends, because if you're cool, they're cool. We should all be cool together. Right. Want more content? Want to support? Ooh, bug, squirrel.
I think.
Oh, bats. All right. You want to support the channel? You want to help it grow? Check out the link to Patreon down below. You might like it. You might not. It's up to you. I'm just letting you know it's out there. All right. Well, we're going to get out of here and do what we do. So I don't know why I'm doing the Montgomery. Let me do the Spielberg because people love it. Mike loves it when people point to themselves when they talk. So I'm going to shut up. Yeah, see, that's why we need to end this. So I'm going to get out of here. We are going to get out of here. And we will see you guys basically later. And I fucked that up because I was trying to pull a Kubo and say the end.